student and teacher face to face, it is still beneficial to be led in the practice of yoga, reminded of the aspects that we've forgotten on the way. Here I hope you will find inspiration and confidence in the real work of self-practice, alone on your mat, exploring the wisdom of your sadhana.
Welcome. The theme this week in class has been freedom from struggle. And so I thought we'd take the work that we did last week with the Sivananda and we would use that sequence and just change some of the postures, which is what you can do. You can just slide some out and bring some other similar postures in. So you can change your forward bends, you can change your back bends, but you've got that skeleton format that allows you to know that at least you've got a really well-rounded practice. So that's what we're going to do. So come to your mat and sit comfortably on your mat and just take a moment to arrive in your body and in this moment. Close your eyes. Find the place where the weight in the sitting bones is not too forward and not too back. You find the Goldilocks spot just in the middle, where your sitting posture can feel steady and there can be strength within your spine. And the muscles are relaxed and yet alert. And drop your awareness to your breath. And begin to purposefully extend the breath. Letting the ribs expand out to the side. Feeling the in-breath move into the back of the body. And as you exhale, you're going to gently draw your tummy up towards your spine. And you're going to notice the sensations of breathing. And when you offer your full attention to the sensations of your practice, of your body, while you practice, then it helps to still the inner dialogue. And we know a little bit of freedom from the mind. And perhaps a little freedom from suffering. When your next in-breath, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, turn the palms away and reach up into your palms. Inhale, reach taller still. Look up. And exhale and release. Roll over onto your hands and your knees. And maybe just take a moment to roll your weight in a circle around your four limbs. This in itself can be a little meditation. And when that feels good, then go the other way. And then come to stillness. Inhale, turn the toes under. And as you exhale, you're going to come to a very bent-kneed, downward-facing dog. Push through the heels of your hands, get length in the side of your waist, and let your head hang. And drop back into your breath.
And as we breathe in, we feel space within us. And as we breathe out, we let go of any tension that we find in the neck and in the jaw. And at the bottom of each out-breath, we notice a spontaneous and completely natural toning of our pelvic floor. And then kindly walking your feet forward, bringing your feet hip distance apart, and just coming to hang very passively over your legs. You can take your hands, wrap them around the opposite elbow, and hang the head in the frame of your arms. And spread your toes wide and make a connection to the floor so that you feel safe and steady. Release your hands. Take a lovely deep breath in. And on the out-breath, the coccyx feels really heavy and it drops down. And we push down through the inner heels and we roll slowly up to standing. And when we arrive, the head is so light and buoyant. Inhale, take the shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale, take them down the back body and turn your palms to face forward. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath, bring your hands to your heart. On your in breath, reach the arms up high, look up. And as you exhale, come forward over your legs. Bend the knees as much as you need to take the hands beside you. Inhale, look forward, find length in your spine. And as you exhale, you curl in, tucking the head last. We'll come back up to standing. So inhale, look up, drop the weight into the heels, push through the legs, and stretch through the front of your body as you reach high. And as you swim back to standing, let your neck feel really soft. Inhale, arms reach up. Breathing out, we come forward. Inhaling, looking forward. And as you exhale, step your right leg back and follow with your left. Come into a press-up position. Take a deep breath here and lift your spine up between your shoulders. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the floor and slowly lower down to the earth. Pull your heart forward and inhale. Come up into a lovely cobra, feeling lovely and open in the chest. The elbows are bent. And there's so much length in your spine. And when enough's enough, turn your toes under, float your knees back, and come back to the dog face down. And this time it might feel nice just to walk out your feet. And take a moment to really feel into your body. We're not fidgeting here, we're making mindful inquiry into what it is you need in this moment. What it is you're feeling in this moment. And then bend your knees. Come high on the tippy toes as you breathe out, and as you inhale, step your right foot forward, bring the left, look forward and extend, and then exhale and bow deeply in. Inhale, tailbone drops, heart lifts, arms reach high. Exhale, swim back to Samastitihi, the place of equal standing.
and equanimity of the mind, ultimately. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhaling, coming forward. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping back, left foot, then right. Inhale, feel very strong here. And then as you exhale, lower down, keeping the knees off the floor if you can. Inhale, open your heart, look up. Hang out here for a moment. Breathe right up towards your collarbones. Feel the heart reaching forward. And then when you're ready, turn the toes under, lift the knees and press back to the dog face down. Deep breath in. And breathing out through the nose, hollow your lower belly. Come high on the tippy toes. Inhale, step the left foot forward, bring the right, look forward and extend. Breathe out and bow in deeply. Look up, drop the tailbone, lift the hands, reach high. And exhale, Samastitihi. A place where the crown and the heart and the pelvic floor and the ankles are beautifully aligned. And it feels nice because you are balanced and strong. Inhale, arms reach up. Coming forward for the third time and the last time. Ground the hands, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, look forward. Now you could step back or you could press and jump back, and this time either lower to the floor or come halfway down. And then the coccyx dives forward and you might find yourself in upward facing dog. Or you might choose to stay in cobra. Keep a soft bend in the elbows. Point the toes back behind you. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can roll over the toes and find your way back to Ardha Mukha Shavasana. And then see if you can cultivate some stillness here. And even in the stillness, there is subtle action and counteraction. We're pulling from the little finger to the outer wrist. We're extending from the inner elbow into the index finger. The collarbones are drawing towards the ankles. And as we reach down through the back of the calf and into the heel, so we lift from the inner knee up into the inner sitting bones. On the tail of the out-breath, we bend the knees. And pushing the floor away, we can float the feet forward and look forward and extend. And breathing out, bowing into our legs. Looking up. Inhaling, bringing the hands to touch above the head. And exhale and release.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
You'll have to excuse Alexa. Shut up, Alexa. Right. So one of the things I like to do is I like to take the Sivananda sequence and I like to do it back to front. And if you look at Iyengar and if you look at Ashtanga sequences, they do their standing postures at the beginning and their inversions at the end. And so that's what we're going to do today. So jump your feet hip distance apart and inhale, open the chest. And as you exhale, come forward, taking the big toe lock. On the in-breath, we look forward and extend.
And on the out breath, we draw deeply in. Now you can have a micro bend in the knee, a light pulling from the big toe to the inner heel, the spreading of your toes to feel into the ground. And the in-breath comes in and you get really wide around your ribs. And the out-breath, you draw and scoop up through the lower belly and invite some length into your spine. And then we'll inhale and look forward. And exhale, take the hands to the hips. Soft bend in the knee, inhale, rise up. And exhale and release, step your feet wide. Take your feet so that they're under the wrist when the arms are extended to the sides. Hands to your hips. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, come forward over your legs. Inhale, look forward. And as you exhale, you're going to reach your arms between your legs, reach them out behind you, and grow your crown down towards the floor. And take 5 breaths here. Now, experienced practitioners, you may want to come up into Sirsasana variation. And then slowly with control coming down. Wherever you are, inhale, look forward. Exhale the hands to the hips. A softness in the knees, inhale, come on up. And exhale and release. So one of the things I quite like to do is this skater's stretch. Just backwards and forwards. And my feet are square. And just breathe your way from side to side. And you press your squatting knee wide as you drop down to that side. And it's just kind of nice and flowing, and you might choose just to hang out for a little bit on one side and then go over and hang out for a little bit on the other side. And then when that feels good, come to stillness. Walk your feet in and come to crouching. Working with Kakasana or Bakasana. So Kakasana is the crow, the knees are then just above the elbows. And we turn the hands slightly in. We bend the elbows so that there's a shelf for the inner knee to rest upon. And then we round the back and we pull to the abdomen. At the same time, we lift the bottom up to the same height as the shoulders. And you begin to push forward towards your fingertips. Grip the floor with your fingertips, round your back, and float your feet off the floor. And you might be floating one off at a time or two. Those of you with more experience, you're going to take the knees into the armpits, and this becomes your stalk. And once again, you go through, coming up. And then you work at straightening the arms and breathing. So you find either your crow or your stalk. And maybe work twice with that, trying to increase the amount of time that you spend each time in that work. And then you're going to sit down. Extend your left leg away and have your right knee up for Marici Asana C. And I like to have a hand span between my foot and my thigh. Right hand can come behind you. You can come and hug that right leg with your left hand as you twist to the right. Or it may well be that you can drop the knee across the body and bring the shoulder to the outside of the knee. And the knee receives the arm and presses lightly into it. And you twist to the right. And those of you who want a little bit more, reach the arm beyond diagonally. And then wrap the arm around the shin and take the right hand back. Sit tall, take a deep breath in. And slowly out. And then we inhale and look forward. And we exhale. And release. And drop your right knee over to the side for Marici Asana. Turn your body, face your left leg. Inhale, reach the hands down to the floor, the shin, the foot. You might have a strap. And then you could get really tall on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, you bring the right ribs forward towards the left knee. And unless you've actually got your chin on your shin, look at your big toe. And then you check through and you see what it is that you can soften. Where you can create some space. Where you can feel a little freedom, some letting go. Retraining the habitual patterns of tension in your body. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. And exhale and release. And the right leg goes away. And we'll pick the left foot up and we'll check that there's a hand span between the foot and the thigh. And we'll move into the twist. Either hugging the left leg or perhaps dropping the knee across the center line and taking as much as the elbow or the shoulder to the outside as you can. And keeping alive in your right leg, you press it down, you lift up through your spine. And you exhale and you twist and look to the left. And if you want more, then you reach that right arm diagonally away from you before turning the shoulder down and wrapping the arm around the shin. And you take what you can behind. And the breath feels a little tighter here. But you still seek to find the forgotten corners of your lungs. Breathing into the less obvious places. And then you inhale and look forward. And as you exhale, you release. And you can feel all the fluid surging back into the spine and into the flesh. Turn and face your right leg. Pull the heel slightly towards you. Come forward. Coming over your right leg. Taking what you can. Inhaling, feeling really tall. And exhaling and drawing in. And then on the in-breath, you look up. And on the out-breath, you release. And cross your ankles and roll over onto your knees and come up for Ustrasana, the camel. Tops of the feet are on the floor and the hands come to the back. And you roll your inner thighs towards each other and lift. And we get lots of lift, as if you could lift the whole rib cage up, inches away from the pelvis. And then you begin to reach your heart up. And the front of the throat goes to the back of the neck, which lifts the sternum even more. And you can keep the hands on the back if you like. And begin to reach your gaze up as the throat moves towards the back of the neck. And then you push down through your knees and you inhale and come up. And exhale and release. Stay with that, or turn the toes under if you can need the heels a bit higher, or those of you who comfortably can, keep the tops of the feet on the floor. Moving into Ustrasana again. Find the openness, get the lift, and then reach your hands back and find your heels. And then continue to roll the inner thighs towards each other. And open the front of your hips. And breathe deeply and fully. And then we push down through the shins. And we inhale and come up. And exhale. Come onto your belly. And we'll do the same shape, but different. Dhanurasana, the bow. Bend your knees. Reach your hands back. Find your feet or your shins. Try not to let the knees or the ankles go too far apart. Move your ribs down the mat. Kick your feet into your hands. And when you're ready, inhale, begin to lift your heart and your legs off the floor, trying to keep a neutrality to your neck. And then gently come down. Just take a moment, one hand on top of the other hand, under your forehead like a pillow, and roll your hips from side to side. And bending your knees, take your shins from side to side. And the hands come under the shoulders and push up onto your knees. Have your knees together. Taking your hands behind you, clasp your fingers together and inhale, lift your heart. And as you exhale, take your belly down your thighs and come to rest on your forehead. And begin to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. And maybe you'll roll onto the crown of your head and around your back. If there's any strain in the neck, then come back with the bottom towards the heels, stretching through your shoulders. Then we take a deep breath in. And then we exhale and slowly release. And roll gently up to kneeling. And we'll take Sirshasana, the headstand, or Pincha Mariasana, the forearm balance. It's up to you. So if you're working with Sirshasana and you're not steady yet in Sirshasana, then that's where you stay. And you can use the wall if you want to, especially if you're at home and there's no one to help you. You might well feel safer near the wall. In which case, you can set yourself up with your head very close to the wall, pushing down and coming up, and the wall's then there if you need it. There are other ways of working, and I'll do a little headstand tutorial in the next week or so. So if you've got your headstand, work with your headstand. If you want to work with Pincha Mariasana, again, you can use the wall if you want to. Otherwise, you take your hands and you take hold of the opposite elbow and you set up your forearms on the mat. And ideally you want them parallel. They'll probably begin to come together, but you try and resist that. Turn the toes under and straighten the legs and begin to get the lift, and the head is free. And then you can either come up one leg at a time, or you can come up with both legs together. And then you squeeze the legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And try to take some of the arch out of your back. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Reaching through the balls of the feet. A little bit of tension in the buttocks to help support the pelvis. And then when you're ready to come down, take a moment in the pose of the child. And just allow everything to settle down. And then you're going to come and lie on your back for your shoulder stand. And we're going to go to Halasana, the plough. Enjoy that, and then come up into Savangasana. So when you're ready, you're going to roll down, lengthening your back. Exhale and empty the lungs completely, arms snuggled in nice and close. At the bottom of the breath, begin lifting the legs. And then inhale and sweep your bottom up. Hands come to the back. And begin to work your feet towards the floor. If the feet comfortably come to the floor, then you can release your hands from your back. Clasp your fingers together and press your arms down. And you try and squeeze your legs together and get bright through your knees and lift your hips up and away from the floor. And you enjoy this lovely stretch all the way through the muscles of your back and your legs. And the breath is rich and deep and liberating. And then we'll take the hands to the back. And when you're ready, either with bent legs, one leg at a time, or both legs together, it's up to you. Get yourself really high. The heels come slightly apart, just an inch. And the heart lifts up over the throat. And the nectar of your compassion drips down and runs like a river down the back of your neck and pools in your skull. And to come out of the work, the legs come to 45 degrees. We clasp the thumbs together and we roll down on top of our extended arms. Hands come side by side, each other beneath your bottom. And then we tip the pubis away and inhale and lift the chest. And as we exhale, we open the upper back, the upper chest. And we take some really rich deep breaths here. And the weight is light on the crown of the head. There's enough energy in your legs just to know that they feel part of you, they feel part of the shape. Nothing's forgotten. There's sensation everywhere. And then on your next in-breath, look forward. And it's surprisingly easy to sit up, taking the flesh away from your sitting bones. Inhale, reach really tall. And exhale and come forward over your legs. And you have the hands either beside the legs or on the shins. Maybe you take the big toe lock, or maybe you take the outsides of your feet. And then you lift tall and you draw the sacrum up and let it sink into the cave of your pelvis. And then letting the pubic bone drop a little deeper, on an out breath, start to explore forward. And you're kind in your approach. It would be unkind for you to try to compare your posture, your work with anybody else. It would be unkind for you to force or strain. It would be unkind if you didn't fulfill your potential in this moment, in this shape. If something was forgotten or an opportunity not taken, so we look at finding the Goldilocks place, where there's just right. It is just right. Your ease and your effort. If it's nice for you, close your eyes. And let the medicine of this pose work on our unhealthy, unempowering, unkind patterns of behavior. clean out the knots in your body and the psychic knots, the samkaras within you. Inhale and lift your heart. And exhale and release. Take Savasana. Lying down with awareness, taking the legs apart, letting the feet relax out to the sides, and taking the arms away from your body with your palms facing out. And let us take to the grave of this Sirsasana, this pose of the corpse, Savangasana. No, it's not Savangasana. I've forgotten what pose of the corpse is called. Savasana. Let's take to this grave with us all of our habits, our attachments, our aversions. And let's let them go down here. Letting the tension leave your body. Letting the agendas leave your mind. Giving yourself a moment to integrate all of the wonderful work, all of the medicine that you have offered your body and your mind. And letting the healing and the wisdom, the inner wisdom, be integrated so that you feel cohesive and whole. Rest here for as long as you need to. Namaste.
Teaching yoga is my vocation, my passion and my pleasure. As more folk look to be self-sufficient in their practice, I've been asked to create yoga classes online as a resource for you. This is only possible through your ongoing support and generosity. If you use them, love them and value them, then please consider supporting this work by a monthly subscription on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/yogawithemma. Like, share and subscribe the page with like-minded friends. Thank you for your support.